Ja, sehr geehrter Finanzstaatssekretär, sehr geehrter Herr Botschafter.
The Financial State Secretary, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Ebert, Mr. Dear Klaus, I saw you earlier in the audience. Dear Dr. Hunz, dear Dr. Rodensteiner, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for the invitation to talk about perspectives of the European financial policy. First of all, before I start my speech, I would like to give a comment on the current media speculation. I spoke to the German Chancellor and I agreed with her that I will not say anything about this until we can meet again to have renewed talks. We will coordinate all relevant decisions, and I have no more to say on this subject. Let me speak about the subject itself. During the nearly 10 years after the introduction of the euro, we're often asked how successful the euro is. You can believe me, I come from a country where the Federal Bank has done excellent work throughout the post-war years, and Deutsche Mark became a symbol of national identity. And I have to say, I'm always pleased to cross European borders, which I have crossed for years as a scientist, and to keep finding that we no longer pay with the same currency in places we know. We had a success story where today's Eurozone price stability is in no way coming second to the price stability we had under the Deutsche Mark, something which is easily overlooked. The financial and monetary policy of the euro system has a positive balance to look upon. Inflation recently has exceeded 2%, 2.84%, partly or mostly due to special factors such as high energy costs, which drove this. And for us, in terms of this is assured via the relevant horizon of price stability. We find the level is acceptable, but we promise the citizens of Europe that we will look very carefully at prices and the development of prices in order to ensure that the medium rate inflation rates will be anchored long term. If there is a doubt in that respect, we will have to take the appropriate measures, but future will show this. But you may be assured in the determination of the euro system to ensure price stability long term. Now, since we are at a German-Austrian meeting, I would like to look at both of our countries, which have to be looked at together and play a role, a particular role at the moment. In terms of Germany, you can formulate it as a title, as a headline, to say we were lagging behind and became a growth engine, as opposed to the times before the crisis. Different economic development in various countries, member states, however, must not play a role in the monetary policy. The dynamics within the Eurozone is not a new phenomenon. I said it takes place with reversed roles, but it's a known phenomenon and it's not limited to the Eurozone. You also find this in US member states with variances that are not much bigger than what we have in Europe. All systems have these heterogeneous factors, and we can imagine that could be similar developments in other countries. Germany is no different, so that's why being heterogeneous is not a problem here. And if we look at the Eurozone as a whole, then we have to create the right conditions here, and I have assured you that we will continue to do so in the future. I will not give the complete talk according to my manuscript. We will have time for discussion later on, but I would like to say something about the crisis. It started for us as a pure financial crisis in the summer of 2007, and credit institutions, insurances, funds, all those who take responsibility in the financial world know that the year is characterized by the euro debt crisis, which I always look as the third phase of the crisis. We had the downward movements which were threatening, and they were prevented in many countries by taking measures to strengthen the economic development. And this entailed a worsening effect on the financial systems of these countries. And towards the end of 2009, we saw threats coming into focus caused by some fundamental problem with data not being correct or reliable. It was a wake-up call. And we had a crisis in Greece. Now we have taken the most important measures. I agree with our hosts that large elements of the crisis have been overcome, and we can look forward and ensure stability. I think the course that has been taken is correct. In terms of its directions, I do not fully describe to all the details, but I can tell you that even when and if I will still be traveling through, if I can travel through Europe in 20 years and pay by euro, then I will still remember in the future that this is one of the most momentous events of monetary union. And I may tell you, my children who are now turning into young adults, they look at me and say, I don't know what you're all about. We've always been paying with euros whenever we've been going to Greece. Well, they cannot remember a time when it was different. So we have this function of the euro creating part of the European identity, and that is something which we must not jeopardize. And I think with a look to the future, the euro will be a stable currency in 20 years' time when we will be using it to pay. Thank you.